LA love bugs. It's that time again. Let's discuss with author L.A. Logan. On today, we're going to do a part 2 of who is author L.A. Logan, as well as more secrets about my first novel, Love No Limit. I am so excited. I heard through the grapevine, and you know I don't really pay attention to the grapevine, but I clued in because I heard that more information was requested as it pertains to Love No Limit. So on tonight, that's what our discussion is going to be. Are you ready to get into it? I know I am. Let's discuss. So, how has everybody been? It's been about a week or two since we've all gotten together, and I know a lot is going on in the world. A lot has happened since the last time that we've talked with each other, and I'm just wanting to do a posting. How's everybody doing? How's everything going? Are you staying healthy? Are you washing your hands? Are you wearing your mask? Are you socially distancing? Are you drinking plenty of water? Are you staying safe and healthy? I know I've been trying to practice that. Like most of you, I still got to go out and do some things. Just make sure you're following the CDC guidelines because I want you to stay healthy. I did a little intro about myself and about my book, Love No Limit, when I very first started the channel. And I got some feedback that, some people were very surprised at some of the things that I talked about. And then some people were wanting more of what I talked about. And so I decided that on tonight, our discussion was going to be around the Love No Limit series. Again, for those of you who have not watched the first video, I encourage you to go back. I'll also try to put the link to the video below so that you can easily find it. If you did not get a chance to watch the first video when I introduced myself and talked about Love No Limit, this is a good time to stop, go back and review that video, and then come back and check us out as we're going to talk more about that. So, Love No Limit was my first book, and it is a part of a series, the Love No Limit series, and I was asked some questions about the book as it pertains to the characters. So the main characters are Jada and Donnell, which I talked about them in the first video, their whole situation. But someone I did not talk about was Mont, who is a key character in this book as well. And it was brought to my attention by one of my readers that I never talked about Mont in the first video. So what I'm going to do for you during this discussion is I want to read to you the synopsis from Love No Limit and then talk more about Mont. So, Jada Edwards is the director of the customer service division for Butler & Brown Insurance Company. She has met many goals in such a short time of her life, and with that, Jada is in the process of seeking her doctorate. From the outside, Jada looks like she is on top of the world, but in reality, she is under the bridge covered with a cardboard box. With all the success that Jada has, and also being in line for a VP position, there is one thing that she continues to struggle with accomplishing. Now, if you watched the first video, you already know what that is. Donnell McDaniels, the man Jada is hopelessly in love with. Donnell is her junior high sweetheart, and even though he has played many games with her down through the years, he still has a major part of Jada's heart. Now remember, we talked about unhealthy love, dysfunctional love, broken people, trying to be in a relationship. Definitely these two. But things begin to change when Jada meets Mont, a successful businessman who makes Donnell look like a welfare case. Poor Donnell. During this time, Jada also decides she needs to rededicate her life to Christ. She enlists the help of her First Lady, Mother Albright, who has been there with Jada since she was a child. Mother Albright was another character that many people loved, just fell in love with, and felt like they had a Mother Albright in their life. With the newness of Mont being around, Jada begins to wonder if Donnell really is a part of her future. All the while, Mont pursues Jada and shows her how a man really should treat a woman. Just as Jada is at the point of moving on, she is faced with a choice she must make, and the question becomes, is there really no limit to her love? Just when she thinks she has made the right choice, she receives the shock of her life. Jada decides to do something that may cost her everything for which she has worked so hard for. So, just to recap, Jada is a successful woman. She's got everything in order in her life except for her love life. She's trying to get her spiritual life back on track as well. Donnell, he's a street guy. He doesn't think about going to church, don't want no parts of church, nothing having to do with that. He's just living his best life, and with that comes women, easy money, drama, just trouble, period. Jada is trying to make these two things mesh in her world, but that kind of changes for her when she meets Mont. Mont is every woman's dream man as far as it comes to the success and the behavior and how one should treat you, but he's also kind of boring. He's nothing like Donnell. And let's be honest, men and women for that point, I hear people say all the time that they don't want to be in a boring relationship. You know, they like excitement. They like drama, but not too much drama. So Mont is a breath of fresh air for Jada. Like I said, he's a successful businessman. He has himself together. He knows what he wants in life. He doesn't have he just doesn't live a drama-filled life. He's, you know, that man that goes to work, works hard, takes care of his home. He doesn't have, you know, all the baggage that comes with Donnell. But for whatever reason, Jada feels torn between these two men. So it got me to thinking, why would a woman be torn between, or a man for that matter, because this can go both ways, why be torn between someone who is drama-free, handles their business, treats you wonderful, but then on the flip side, your other choice is someone who constantly has you in your feelings and your emotions. You're up, you're down, they don't know what they want in life, or they're playing games emotionally. Why? What is the struggle with that? Well, in Love No Limit, it explores all of that. It talks about, it breaks it down in the story. You know, it's a fiction story, fiction book. It breaks it down in how Jada navigates through her brokenness between these two gentlemen, and it shows the flip side of how a man navigates through their brokenness. And it ends up being, it's just a bag of emotions. When I was writing this book, these characters got on my nerves just because, you know, when you know better, you do better. And in writing it, I was just like, oh, this is just too much. It's just too much dysfunction. But then you have glimmers of hope that Jada is finally coming around, or Donnell is finally coming around, and that they're realizing they need to do something different. Mother Albright was someone who constantly tries to be an encourager, never a judger, and that's another thing. I try to write this from a perspective of, you know, when people are involved, do go to church and they are involved in ministry, or they're striving to do the right thing, sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes they just don't get it right. And the last thing they need is for someone to remind them that they're not getting it right. They already know they're not getting it right. They need someone who's going to be an encourager to them and say, hey, I know you messed up, but it's all right. Get yourself back up, dust yourself off. Let's try this again. I think that was an Aaliyah song. I think it was. But anywho, these characters in this book, Love No Limit, has several hiccups. They're living their best life. They're doing anything that they think they want to do, but know that they need to do something different. And so a lot of the feedback that I received from this book was, I see myself in this book. I once lived like that, or I once was in a relationship like that, and I thought about going back, but after reading your book, I read about myself and realized it was unhealthy. Or I'm thankful I was in a relationship like that. I'm thankful I got out of it. So there are a lot of Jadas, Donnells, and Monts in the world. I mean, we all have a little Jada in us, male or female, just some of the behaviors. We all have a little Donnell in us with some of the behaviors. We all have some Mont in us behavior. So this book is absolutely my baby. My very first book that I wrote. I had someone ask me how I came up with the title of the book, Love No Limit. Now, before I go any further, I should have gave this disclaimer at the beginning. If you are super deep, meaning you can't relate to or can't meet a person where they're at to try to bring them to where they need to be, then you probably need to not read this book, and you probably just want to stop watching the video in general, because Jada is messing up in this book. Let's be clear. She's not doing everything that the church would feel it was appropriate for her to do. So if you can't handle the realness, the rawness of what she's doing, because I did not try to sugarcoat anything, because I think that's a lot of the problem. People don't want to really admit that this is what's going on. You have people that go to church faithfully, and what you see on the outside is not what's going on the inside. So if you're super deep, you want to stop watching the video, and you don't want to read Love No Limit. I'm just going to be honest with you. It is what it is. The title Love No Limit came from a song, a Mary J. Blige song. And one of the things that's a theme in this book is music. Music. And I happen to enjoy or like Mary J. Blige as an artist. She has a variety of songs. Most of them are love songs, and most of them are talking about being in dysfunctional relationships, which she inspired me in a way in writing the book. My true idea for the book, though, came from the movie Thin Line Between Love and Hate. If you watched the first video, you know the whole story behind that. And the character in that book, at the time when I wrote the book, I didn't realize his name is either Donnell or Darnell, one of the two. He's dysfunctional. He doesn't know what real love is and what it means, how to treat a woman. So I got a lot of inspiration. The idea came from the movie, and then a lot of the content was stuff I saw on TV or different movies or things I experienced or that my friends have experienced. And I think that's what makes it seem so real, because I have people thinking the book is about them. Several people have thought this book was about them. And I thought, well, if you want to own up to what's going on in this book as a part of what was going on or is going on in your life, more power to you. But it's not, I can't say this book is about a particular, the whole book is about a particular person. Now, I did change the name to protect some of the what is it, innocent or guilty, just teasing. Am I just teasing? But this is my baby. I'm very proud of it. And with it being my first book, I've learned some things from writing my first book to my sixth book. And one of the things that with my first book, if I could do something over, that's one of the things that I was asked. If I could do something differently with this book, what would I do? I would probably have it looked at by another editor. I mean, I had an editor, but I'm not sure if they were what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I think that the editor needs to be able to relate to the content of what you're writing, or at least ask you questions about what it is that you're writing to help it flow better. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's going to be a hard read because of the editing, but just because I know from my first book to the last book that I wrote, I changed editors and I can just tell a difference. So yeah, that would be one thing I would do different. I can't think of anything else that I would do different as it pertains to writing this book. I mean, I was done with this book for a few years before I decided to publish it, because I was really nervous about letting people read it, because I thought people would think the book was about me, or just what people's opinions are. People can be really judgmental, mean, unsupportive, and all of that. And I just had to let that go. I was encouraged by my first lady at the time to print the book, not worry about what people think or what people were going to say. Her exact words to me was, some of these church people need to read about themselves. So yeah, go ahead, don't worry about it. Go ahead and publish the book. Because I'm telling you, again, Jada's living her best life, and she's supposed to be a church girl. That's all I'm saying. I do want to say thank you to my supporters who continue to read my books, and I've gotten a lot of feedback about Love No Limit. I think I might do a giveaway. I think I might do that. I need to figure out what that looks like, or how to go about doing that. But I encourage you to pick up my first book, Love No Limit, and then after you read it, leave me some comments below. This book is available on Kindle and Nook. It's also, you can purchase it on Amazon.com, or you can purchase it from my website. And my website is booksbyLaLogan.com. I just wanted to jump on and do a part 2 of Love No Limit. I feel like this was kind of all over the place, and I apologize for that. I was going to read the first couple chapters, or read the first chapter. Someone asked me to do that, but I probably not on this video. Maybe there'll be a part 3 on Love No Limit. But pick up the book. Leave me some comments below about the book after you read it. And I may end up having a part 3 based on some of the comments that are listed below, or questions that I receive. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I appreciate you checking us out and joining in on the discussion. If it's not your first time, welcome back. How have you been? I ask that you click the like button, ask that you click the subscribe button, and most importantly, I ask that you click the bell, as well as share. The bell will let you know when new content has been loaded to the channel. And by clicking the like button, it lets me know that you're enjoying our discussions. And by sharing the video, you're going to help us grow the channel. I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it until it happens. We are so close to 50 subscribers, and I believe that we can reach that if you share the video. Will you help me get to 50 subscribers? Can I count on you? Yes? Thank you. I appreciate it. So, before I get out of here, I want to leave you with this. Remember, the plans for your life have already been designed. It's just up to you to trust the planner. Have a good one, everybody.